Hello everyone, this is Marius, and today this is my first tutorial ever, so please bear with me. And yeah, I just wanted to show you how to create these clouds and this water, which is like fake subsurface absorption water. And you can also use this technique for creating fog. And in the first part I will cover how to create this water, and in the second part I will create these clouds with Houdini, which is going to be a little bit more advanced. So maybe you just need some basic knowledge in Houdini. So yeah, let's start. The first thing we have to do is to start up Cinema4D, or maybe every DCC you want, maybe Blenders, 3ds Max, Maya, as you want, because it's quite simple and you can create this geometry in every other 3D package. So I will delete the cloner I created before. Here you can see a little scene I created. It's just a small landscape with palms. And maybe you ask, or you're asking why I can see all my shadows, which are quite accurate. But that's something I will cover in another tutorial in the future. Maybe soon, maybe in a few weeks, I don't know. But I will make another tutorial soon. So yeah, okay, let's start. First thing you have to do is to create a cloner. Create a plane, and the plane just dial in here 1 and 1 in the width and height segments, because we don't want to have too many polygons. And as you know, in SparkAR there's a poly count limit, and we want to optimize everything as good as possible. So then drop the plane into the cloner, create more planes with the count here in the cloner, like 50. And right now the distance between the planes is too far. We want to reduce this to 1. Maybe scale the whole thing a little bit up until it fits the whole island. Yes, but that's a thing you can adjust in SparkAR afterwards. So and now you have to convert the plane, convert the cloner, select everything in the cloner, and merge everything with connect objects and delete. Now you have to export the whole thing. Be sure that you only export the selected objects as FBX. And as you can see, I already created the water before. And I have to admit that this is not the first time I record this tutorial, because yeah, it's the first time and it's not that easy. So I will call it water 4. Go back into SparkAR. I will delete the water which I created before. I will just drop in the water we just exported. And yeah, you can see it's too big right now. So let's scale it down. I have to drop the water under my 3D null object, which I called all, because I created the scene that I can rotate everything with my head rotation. So let's scale everything up until it fits the island. Bigger? Too big? No, I think it's good. Something like that, yeah. So, oh yeah, I just see that there's like the rotation is a little bit off. I think that's because I didn't stop the whole simulation. Rotation 0, and I think now it fits, yes. Okay, then just go into the material which was created with the water. Right now it's the shaded type is flat, and I will leave it there. But you can also create like standard materials or physically based materials, which adds like specularity or reflections. But for now, I just leave it at flat. Then I will just create some color, like something like that. Yeah. And now you just have to reduce the opacity. And now you can see, oh, okay, nothing's really changing. You have to go into the alpha blend mode. And then you can see you have this depth fall off, which creates this fake subsurface absorption looking water. The more you reduce the opacity, the clearer the water gets. Yeah. So I think, yeah, that's looking good. I think, yeah, I'm happy with that. As you can see, there are like some artifacts here with the clouds, and that's just because I placed the water after the clouds here in this list. And yeah, just keep in mind that affects the whole, I don't know what it's called, like alpha list, I don't know. Yeah, just drag it right up here after the island itself. And yeah, I'm happy with the results, and it really looks cool. I think you still can see this kind of bending, yeah, all these little steps. You can like reduce this artifact with just getting more planes in the cloner, like 100, 200, 1000, and all these steps will get smaller and smaller and vanish completely when they are like not visible anymore to the human eye. And what you can do with this water is you can also rotate it like 90 degrees, like that. Then move it a little bit up and increase the size in the y-axis like this. Yeah, like this. And now you can see this actually looks like fog, which also really works well, even if you change the material from flat to standard and create a new spotlight. And as you can see, even the light affects our volume, which is awesome. That's actually something not that easy. It would be nice if there was like shadows or and you get this God ray effect, but for now this is amazing. So yeah, in the next step we are going to create these clouds. So we have to jump into Houdini. Oh, I think I created this before. So create a new project. And in the first step, we have to just create a normal cloud, and usually I just start with a sphere. Change the primitive type to polygon mesh. I think I will leave it like that. Then create a mountain for some noise, for some basic noise. I will shape the sphere a little bit different, so something more cloud shaped, maybe something like that. Yeah. And then we have to get the cloud node. This will convert the whole thing into VDB or volume. Then we can dial up the uniform sampling diffs to 150 maybe. You can go higher, but for now I think I will leave it here at 150. Maybe let's create a distant light so we can see a little bit more details. Something like that. Yeah. In the next step, we have to create a cloud noise so that it really looks like a cloud. Yeah, that's looking like a cloud. Maybe we'll push up the amplitude and maybe octaves 2 or 3. It doesn't matter. For our purpose, I think this fits perfectly. So, next step, we want to create planes which slice this volume into different slices, and these slices should have like black and white textures, which we then can import in SparkAR and use it, as you could see in the first part, like this fog. And I can show you this. We have to create a solver, and in here we have to create a volume slice, and now you can see the whole volume got sliced by a plane. And when you change the offset, we move in the Z axis and can create different planes with different slices. And we don't want to have this infrared look, we want it to be grayscale. So then you have to merge the whole thing with the previous frame because we're in a solver. And in the volume slice, we have to write a little expression in the offset, which is $f, which stands for the current frame, divided by 25 minus 1. Minus 1 just because the offset is clamped from -1 to 1, and we want to start at -1. And then just count up until it hits 1. So when we go back up in the sub level and select the solver and just run play, we can see we created a lot of planes until it hits frame 50. Yeah. So we will freeze the frame 50. No, time shift. Frame 50. Oh, not 506. I'm sorry. 50. I think we have to. For some reason, there's like some issue with it right now. Okay, now it works. And as you can see, there's still the VDB volume, and we have to delete that. So just delete. Delete at density. And the volume is gone. Yes. And as you can see, the volume is still here, but sliced in, with a lot of planes. Okay, that's working fine. Now we want all these planes onto one UV tile and everything as one texture. So when we export the whole geometry, we want one texture for the whole geometry. So and as you can see right now, there's a lot of polygons. Actually, there are like 724,000 points. Yeah, what we can do is create for each plane a low poly version. So for each connected piece, we create a bounding box. So let's see. Okay, we create a bounding box. I tried to change it here to rectangle, but for some reason this doesn't work. So I just fuse everything, because right now it's like a really thin box. Yeah, just fuse it and delete the or blast the first polygon, so we only have one plane. Yeah, this works. Maybe create some normals or reverse it. Yeah, now it looks perfect. And when we just enter here the for each end1, you can see we have the same amount of planes, but as low poly versions. So now we have to create, like, we have to bake the high poly planes onto the low poly planes. And here comes Houdini created like these lab HDAs, and there's like a simple baker, lab simple baker, and this sub you can get the high poly version, target geometry and source geometry high, onto the low poly version. And you can dial in here. Oh, I forgot something, because yeah, UVs. You have to get UV layout into here. Okay, sorry, I forgot that I have to use a UV flatten instead of UV layout. So I think, oh, it should work. Give it a second. Okay, let's see. Yeah, now it worked. And the same UV flatten we have to use for our low poly version. Perfectly. And as soon as you just change the resolution maybe to 1024, here, and we only want to export the base color or vertex color, and wait, another destination, cloud text .png, no, JPEG, we only need JPEG. And yeah, I think everything is fine, and just hit render. This will take a moment. And the last step, we just have to export our geometry, actually our low poly geometry is OBJ. Cloud. How many clouds did it? Yeah, okay. Cloud.obj. Accept. And I think we are done. So go back into SparkAR. I will import cloud. Yep. Then just drag it into your scene. And it's way too big. Just scale it down. Then go into the material and create maybe flat. Okay, leave it at standard. then we have to import our cloud texture we just created. Go back into the material, select our cloud text, and it already looks like the thing we created in Houdini. But we have to get rid of the black parts. So I will create a new patch. Actually, I did this before, so we can just copy this. We have just to drag the cloud texture in here, unpack everything, unpack it back into vector 4. So we use the red or blue channel as alpha, which is also black-white. And now you can see this should work. Okay, let's see. Cloud. Up. And yeah, of course, in the blend mode you have to change it to alpha. And for some reason it's gone. Where is it? Ah, yeah, here it is. And in the material we have to turn on the alpha test and the cutoff. And as you can see, we get our cloud in here. We also have to check and double-sided. And I think the best solution is to get change it to screen. Okay. Somehow it looks different. Ah, yeah. I don't know what this issue is, because sometimes you have to rotate it 180 degrees. It looks good. I don't know why. Let's see. Now it works. Yeah. And here you go. You have clouds in your scene, like real volume clouds. You can play with the opacity a little bit more, so you can make it a little bit more transparent. Yeah, I think this looks good. Delete our fog. For some reason, that's not really what I want. Maybe dial back the cutoff. Ah, yeah. Now it's getting better. And as you can see, we have this little fluffy cloud. Yeah, just place it where you want it. And as you can see, this really looks super nice. I hope you like my tutorial, and I hope we can see us soon again when I create a new tutorial where I will cover how to bake lights onto 3D objects and create these palms with shadows and everything. So stay tuned and see you soon.